family of Cesar?
The closest one we have right now is Mr. Tony, who's sitting next to me here.
Of course,
Yes.
okay. And so what had let me go grab a chair. If you
Okay.
don't mind. So- Now, I understand that there has been some confusion regarding the hospital.
Yes.
I'm very sorry. Had Nora spoken with you regarding our permission to take Cesar into our care?
I don't really recall that. I don't know when we came here, we came to discuss the conditions and how much it might cost for the body to be shipped, how much it might cost for the body to stay here, and how much it might cost for the cremation. That's the three things that I know we talked of. But as far as picking up the body from the hospital, I don't really remember calling that.
I'm very
Yes.
sorry about that, sir. And so we have Cesar in our care right now, and I have the information regarding the file, but I was trying to ascertain who the most responsible party is. We have a legal chain of custody regarding who can make decisions on behalf of the party. I'm sorry.
Okay, so in that case, like I said, the one that we have, the closest one right now in this state, because it doesn't have like direct family in here. So Mr. Tony is a cousin to the deceased. And then this is, like I told you, this is the consulate from Angola. Is here to like examine everything and do report to be sent back home before they can kind of assist us and do anything so far. So this is why you see us today. He came on Friday at 5 p.m. and he's going back on Sunday.
Of course. And I'm so sorry for your inconvenience.
Yeah, I have one thing to add there. When you are requesting to see Cesar immediate family, we told you this guy here is the one who is on the paperwork as a Cesar contact, Cesar family. But right now, I think as a family or as a community member, we have nothing to do when we have a representative like this guy here, a consular for Angola. He is here on official mission, is to see is truly Cesar passed, is truly Cesar still here in the hospital, so he's there to do kind of stuff. So I will let him introduce himself to you, so to know the purpose is of his mission here. Then I think we can go by there.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Talos,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for allowing us to come and to see you this afternoon. The reason that brings me here, I'm here on the capacity as the Vice Consul of Angola. Being Mr. Cesar being one of our citizens, is our duty as I represent my country to identify, to collect all the information that you have. That information will be passed to and will remain in our files for census purpose. Also for is part of the consulate to know how many people pass away outside of the country. So that's number one. Number two, also my second reason of being here is to verify exactly the body, because I need also to verify and to say that I saw the body. And thirdly, lastly, is to meet the community which has help, support in dealing with all the process that you have taken. So that is the three capacities that brings me here to this place today.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for coming. And again, I apologize for the misunderstanding and the inconvenience that is placed upon all of you. Tony, as the immediate family at this time, do we have your permission for the viewing of the body?
Actually, right now, we need to see the body, so
Yes.
your permission is granted. So
And I just want to verify, Nora seems a bit confused. Does Cesar have a wife?
He is a wife in Angola.
And she is in Angola. Okay, and you're acting on her behalf? Okay.
I'm acting on behalf of the father.
Oh, okay, so his
father,
parents
Cesar's
are
father.
alive as well.
Yeah.
All right, I understand, of course. Okay. Do you have any documentation? I don't suppose. I'm trying to ascertain, because she didn't take any family information at this time. So, would you mind if I just stepped outside for a moment and spoke with my manager just to make sure that everything is understood, that in this country, in this state at least, you are the most immediate family and you will be acting on behalf of his immediate family. Do you think if it was necessary that you would be able to get authorization from the father?
Actually, right now, as the consulate is over here, so I think the authorization of the father is not very important right now, because the consulate is to represent the country, the government where it came from.
I understand. I'm just trying to think in my mind the questions that my manager might have for me. So, if my understanding is correct, then that you're, as the counselor, you have authorization over the community here.
That's correct.
That should. I will let my manager know that you will be acting in that capacity. So I will just be a moment. Oh yes, of course. And can I?
Also, I do have questions because about the request of taking body and the mortuary, because the problem is, as I spoke to James, the examiner, the Adolfo, so he gave me like 3 weeks to decide whether I'm gonna take the body to which funeral. So those 3 weeks to me it was like with no charge to me. So I didn't know how you guys, you went and pick up the body. So you guys, you're gonna grant us those 3 weeks, those free weeks with no charge.
I understand, sir, and I'm very sorry for the inconvenience. And if you decide that you would like us to take Cesar back to a different funeral home, we will do that at no charge at all. You are under no obligation to go with our funeral home. I want that to be well known.
Yeah, if I may so, because I understand. So when I came, as the gentleman mentioned earlier on, I arrived yesterday, and our understanding was that the body was in a hospital. For the surprise of everybody, find that Mr. Cesar is no longer in a hospital.
Of course.
And was a shock for everybody, because as far as I know, that was the place that I was first of all to see. But then we find out this morning they said that he's no longer here. I have asked the gentleman if anyone has gave authority to move the body, and they have said no. Now I'm saying all of that to bring a point of, my understanding was that they have spoke to the hospital, and the gentleman, the community here, have explained the situation of Mr. Cesar, that he doesn't have family here, and kindly the community has been support and has been help and has been a voice to the family outside of the United States. And the hospital very kindly said, okay, we can hold the body for 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, I'm afraid we cannot hold any longer. Now, then that raised a question for us this morning, okay, if the body has been in your possession since the 31st, is the charge will commence from that day? Where? Because leave the community as part of the government, okay, we're not going to assume the responsibility of the cost. Okay, we will help, contribute, but by any means we will take the responsibility. Now the community now kind of stay in a limbo. Okay, if you gentlemen going to charge commence from that day, so
We will not, I promise
Okay.
you, sir.
If
I
you
assure
will not, so you're gonna allow us those 3 weeks to
We
keep
will-
the
yes.
body until we figure out, we find out what the solution.
The problem was why we were stick on that 3 weeks is because of the money. We need to do a big fundraising. We need to fundraise money from here in the United States, from country, so from everywhere to anyone who knows Cesar to put something together so we can bury him with dignity. So is the why we're asking you. So I don't know, since you guys pick the body as the consular said, are you guys gonna charge or not?
No,
Okay.
no. And clearly,
So-
this has been a misunderstanding. And
Okay.
I'm very sorry that I did not dress up. I wanted to get here as soon as possible because I understood the gravity of the situation. And no, we will not be charging you because this is our fault. There was a misunderstanding, and on behalf of our directors,
Okay.
and I will make sure that everything is taken care of.
So if I may, Mr. Brian, thank you for mentioning that thing. I'm gonna just tell you here that if we came to you, is because we have done business with you before. We know how we dealt and we know how you treated us. So we put that trust in you. Before it wasn't done like this, but it was like a shock. Let me tell you, this was like a shock for us to go to the hospital, ask and see that the body has been taken. We don't know who gave the permission. We don't know when. We don't know exactly when you took the body. At least you should have given us a call to say that, okay, this is what we have done. Because I remember the last time I talked to Nora, she asked me to gather information about the Cesar. If he had a wife, if he has like a direct family who can take care of him here, and all of that. Before even I can respond to you back, I'm surprised that you have taken the body.
I'm very
So
sad.
that's one thing we might ask you to please, when you talk to your superior, to kind of mention that thing. And we believe that next time, things might work different.
Of course, sir. And we have lights. We have an order of doing things that was clearly not followed. You should have been contacted within an hour or so
Yeah.
if she had taken the action. And the fact that it has been this long is unforgivable. I absolutely apologize on behalf of my company. And
Thank you for that.
of course. And so, as I said, let me just go ahead and appraise my manager of the situation because he will want to know that. And can I offer you folks anything to drink? Coffee?
Oh no, yeah. Thank you.
Just come
By the way, I got one more question.
Yes, of course.
Do you have a death certificate with you?
What we would need to do is order them from Vital Statistics, and that would take place. If you wanted to, I can get you the information so you can order them yourselves, or we can go ahead and order them for you if you would like.
Yeah, I would like you guys to order it so we can get it through you. I think it will be more easy. Since you guys start the case, go ahead, do everything until to the end.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so you're thinking that you would still like to go through us?
Yeah.
But at this time, you
Yes.
just need some time to decide exactly what to do. I understand. Okay, and if I have your permission, may I also contact Social Security to let them know that Cesar has passed, or would you like me to wait on that as well?
No, well, we believe that you guys have to do whatever it is that you do in order to have this case closed.
Yeah.
So we don't have anything to tell you do this or don't do that.
Okay.
We
Go
believe-
ahead, do anything you guys supposed to do. You have now our permission, you have now our word.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Okay, so I will be right back, folks.
No problem. Thank you.
I think we made a point.
Yeah. So
Clear.
okay. Now that we know that we're not going
So
to
we made a point, and now it's for all of us to know how much it's gonna cost us if we want to pay the body of VF. Okay. So that way you can see how you can help us to bring the body. So that way you can have an idea. So
Yeah, it's
what
what
the committee
we are here.
agree.
So now Mr. Carlos has the word to say about this. We discovered that there will be no church up to now because of what's happened in between. And by the same time, so I want to take this opportunity to say sorry to you because we give you an information what was not correct, to say that the body is in the hospital as we talked, you know, and we went there this morning, we found out that they have already took the body. So sorry for that
That's okay.
as well. So you have now the clear picture of the situation. So what do you think right now?
Okay, what I think still much the same. I think that is the community now that has to decide. Are you going to honor the wishes of the parents, knowing that that will prolong, and they may then change the mind? Okay, right now, because they have realized the mistake was on that side. Okay, but they can maybe
like
thinking,
us,
yeah, thinking like the hospital. Let's say that we have 2 weeks, but we're not too sure. Okay, now remember, his business. Here is business. In the hospital, it was a different scenario altogether. Okay, now we have to decide what I mean. We, with the consideration of yours and the parent, or the father in that case, how we go ahead with him or without. That's number one. That's very important. Okay. Number two, it is important to say, okay, exactly how much will cost, because obviously, also for him, he needs to know exactly, because we cannot say, well, we don't know, because maybe the man needs to think, oh, is 100,000. Maybe he scratch his head and say 100,000. Maybe if we say, well, they say, okay, well, that will cost 10,000 or 15. Then he could say, oh, actually, that money I can borrow somewhere. Maybe I can send, let's say, I don't know, 13, and leave the rest for us. When I say us, include the consulate.
Yeah.
Okay, then we, the consulate, say, okay, well, that is what we can help towards a gesture from our country to our fellow
A fellow
camarade.
camera. Okay.
So that then the procedures could move speedily. But if we leave that too much open, because it's not, you see, we wait for the father doesn't know exactly how much he does have to raise, you know, how much do I need to raise? Is $1 million? Is how much? We have to give him a figure. So, okay, well, actually that costs 15 or 20. We can ask him for the same, because, okay, as you know, as we have said in the beginning, we try to raise the money. The parents overseas, and we as a community. And we as the government side will contribute something towards the cost. But we need you to give us a figure exactly. That way, all of us can work upon that figure.
Okay. Yeah. In behalf of the community, as the president of the community, I can say this. I spoke to the father, and then when we were in the hospital, I called them again. Yeah. I think, my decision is to go forward to fulfill the parent wish.
Okay.
Or is to bury, not
Okay.
to cremate the body.
Okay.
Yeah, the cost we're gonna ask right now. We've been here, we asked before, but I want them to say it in your presence.
Okay.
Because we came with another idea before. It was to ship the body in Angola, to bury here. Is how much? So they give us the price for shipping, they give us the price for burying here. So now the shipping is
Out.
of the system. Now we are working about burying the body
Okay.
here. So the cost, it will be around 10. So maybe 8 to 10
Okay.
is in between there. So after here, we'll ask him, and then before you leave, before you take your your fly,
Okay.
we will know exactly what the parent can put down.
Okay.
And then the way you say, they will leave the rest for the community, and you, as a representative for the Angola, to know exactly why you guys gonna put down and which is the game for us to play.
Okay.
How much we need to raise and put
Okay.
together. So this thing need to be decided today.
That's correct.
And then going forward, this case has only 1 week to be closed.
Okay. So today is Saturday. So we are talking perhaps the following Saturday or
Yeah,
or
we,
even before? Or
we are
Friday?
is what we are planning.
Okay.
I
You know,
think
President, okay, so you suggest, that's your suggestions as well, because I appreciate that you suggest that. But the only thing I want to mention here, I think we're not supposed to rely on parents. As I spoke, I spoke to the daddy by myself too, and my brother here. So if we have to rely on parents, it's gonna take us so long, and then it's gonna be, our bill is gonna be more higher and higher. So because I know from now on, he told me he doesn't have a job, it doesn't work. He's like
He's retired from
he's a retired from the job. The only money he get like $100 after 3 months. Someone is getting $100 3 months for 3 months. So how is gonna raise the money just to fulfill his
Obligation.
obligation? So this one, he told me, you guys, I'm counting on you. So do whatever you can do and just let me know. You know. So if we take this case, that means we're not supposed to rely on
the parents.
parents. So now the point is, we try, you and I, or the Angola's government and I, we have to work together. So how we're gonna deal with this issue? How we're gonna handle it? To handle this, the government and our community. Our community will try to help, actually, because we know he's from Angola. We try to help because he used to live among us. The only thing we can find, so we're gonna show up with what we got.
that's correct, Tony. That's very, very correct what you are
Yeah.
saying. We are not here relying on the parent, but there is a situation here which is very clear. Me as a head of the community, as the president of the community, I need to go forward to do what is in my capacity to do. I know when there is a situation like this, a parent or a family, if they say that they don't have money, yes, it's understandable, but that's your son, that's your family. The family need to get together and put something, even if it's less, even if it's $100 only, they need to put it down. Say yes to bury our son, to say that we are in the same vision as you are doing there. This is our $100. We don't have money, but they need to give something. I want them to understand this clearly. They need to put something down. They need to put even 200, even a 50 bags. They need to put it down. This is our money to bury our brother or our son, and then we'll go by there. We didn't say that they need to send 5,000. They need to send 10,000. No, they need to do something. And then that something will help us, will motivate the people. We'll tell people, look at the family don't have money, they send this. Please, people, let's get together to bury our friend, our brother. I think that way things can work.
if I try to take a word or as a not man, because I got experience, I know what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm very sure because the situation is not really very clear. Why? Because they know, all of us we know César is from Angola. Okay, so even in our community, I know it's not gonna be like easy
Yeah, to
for
raise
people to
money.
raise or for people to
raise
contribute or for us to raise money. It's not gonna be easy. So this why we asked the president if he can contact the embassy of Angola, so that
It's here
yeah,
already.
no, I'm coming back. I know. So at this point,
Yeah.
one work with you. How one work with you? Okay, what you guys, the government gonna take? Okay. As a government, we wanna do this because according to this bit, why we do that, and then why we ask you like that? Because we can have even a little bit, and then we're gonna support. The only thing also we want you guys to be here was because of this one. Because if you guys work together, you give us also the authority as your citizen to deal with those people. It's gonna be also a little bit good for you, right? Because there's a big hospital, big. Because they know, like I claim, it's my fellow cousin. How do you have money? I'm gonna pay like 100 something thousand of big.
That was my question this morning,
Yeah.
brother, because knowing the system here, okay, that was my question, okay. So how César was able to get will be a bill? It's not the question. I'm asking the question not because we will do anything about it, because really, from a government point of view, really is very little that we can do. You know, it's very little we can do. As I said, you know, the reason that I'm here as a representative of the government because César has Angolan passport, so that is a documentation that represents my country. So therefore, as I represent my country, it's my duty to come and verify. Verify, okay, is that document true? B, is the person really dead? And C, okay, now what can we do? Now, if pass all these tests, okay, we need to file, because then that number, the passport, is no longer then will be captive. So then we have to send, we're not going to keep in Los Angeles, that has to go to Angola, to Luanda, to Darfur, where the passport will be there or be destroyed. Okay, so when I do all that checking, then we go to the step, okay, what can we do? Now, we never assume when any Angolan citizen pass away. So the consulate are here to facilitate, to help the papers and so on. Now, if the family is in Angola and they have, okay, well, we as a family will take responsibility of the cost, but meanwhile, you'll be our voice of dealing. But we cannot, as we said all the time, as Miss Sylvia, when it was the first contact, we cannot, as I was explained. If I died here, hopefully not, I'll live long, with the grace of God.
Yeah.
Okay, now my government will be different. They will send the body because I am employed by the government. It's not the case of Mr. César. So we cannot take that responsibility upon us.
In this case, if you figure out the passport is really your passport, that's one. Okay. Second, you figure out César is dead. That's the second point. Now, the third point is, and then you're gonna see what you guys are gonna do. So I want you to have like a pictures if Congolese people are not there, what the embassy of Angola should do?
Well, then they will contact them and say, okay, well, we have contact the family. We have contact the family. Family doesn't show up. Then the authority of the nation, the country is like, obviously, wouldn't stay here. Then they will bury or cremate the body. That is what happened when people here, the drunk, the die here. So they will hold for some time. If no one come, or even in our countries, if no one come to claim the body cannot stay here long. It's what they call vala comum. It's like you put many people in a, and that will be the way. So we will never take a responsibility of the body. We will contact, as we have done, we will contact the family. We will contact the family. We'll contact the family, but we'll never take a responsibility or say, okay, we'll say, okay, he's Angolian. Or I say, okay, we verified that he's Angolan. Yes, it is. We have seen, yes, it is. But we will not take the responsibility. The family is there, then the body will be cremated. Or be cremated, or so that is what happened. So we'll never assume a responsibility. Now, the good thing about that is that came here legal. That is a plus. Makes much easier. Much easier because so his visa that, as we saw, would expire in June. So that makes much easier. But there is people that came here illegal. We read, okay, the police will come, okay, well, there is some folks there Angolan, and sometimes they may stay Angolan from Nigeria, so we have to verify. Okay, because sometimes people think that they're Angolian, but really they're not Angolian until we verify. No, it's not only by law, so we have to send to the proper channels. They have to verify if it's real, the documentation that we have in our possession. Being so, we say to the police, yes, it is, yes, it's our citizen, but we cannot. What we have done, we have in the country, we have put even the announcement to put in a newspaper is not the responsibility of the country, it's a family. But sometimes we have taken the tab, have done, and hope that believing as what you sow, you reap. One day, someone will make happen for you. Maybe not us, but our children, only that. But really, is the family responsibility. So when cases like this happen, then the government or the country where the person died take the necessary procedure. And they say, okay, well, we have burial or we have cremated. So we just notify, and for sense of purpose, we notify and send.
Okay.
I don't know if I explained.
That was clear. So let's wait the guy to give us to view the body. You can do what is required to do by your country, and then we figure out the bill. Work by that. So
Okay.
thank you very much.
Okay.
This is my